Welcome to the Somatic CEO. I'm Benoit, guiding entrepreneurs where mind, body, and innovation unite. I remember the first time I received a pamphlet in the mail, as many therapists do. I'm a licensed therapist and I'm also a nervous system coach. And the pamphlet was all about the autonomic nervous system, specifically polyvagal theory. I read that pamphlet and there were parts of my body that immediately lit up and told my brain, there's something to this. When I took that training, it was like information healing overload. Suddenly, learning about my nervous system, diving into the brain, I understood that it wasn't what's wrong with me, it's Marie, what's happened to you. And this is the shift and the journey we're going to uncover and unleash CEO, because using the power of the nervous system is essential if you are an entrepreneur or a leader in any capacity. The simplest way to define it is that whatever state of your nervous system you are locked in defines the story that you have woven into your tapestry. Humans, we are all meaning makers. So we make meaning from everything. And that meaning comes from alertness of what we are feeling in our body, whether we are aware of it or not. And what we are carrying in our body is energy. And this isn't just woo-woo, this is science, because if you think about your 6th grade science class, what'd you talk about? Energy. We have collected energy our entire lives. Think about how many interactions you have had in your life. Think about how many interactions in your life have made you feel unsafe. Now, to show you what I mean about collecting energy, I'm going to do a little exercise with you so you can feel this for yourself. I'm going to say 3 words to you, and I'm going to say them, one word, I'm going to say it 3 times. And then I'm going to do it again, but a different word. And you need to notice, if you choose, because it's always a choice, in your body, what are you experiencing? This is called interoception awareness, and it is crucial to being a true leader. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. No. 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 Now notice this. Yes. 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 Oftentimes when I do this exercise with clients, they tell me the no made them feel like they needed to hunch in and protect themselves. It reminded them of when they were little and maybe somebody raised their voice at them, a parent or a teacher or a coach or a friend. And the story that builds from this, from that one word with the tone of voice that I had, the volume level, and maybe even if you peeked your eyes open, my body language, sent them in a tailspin of what it means about them. I'm in trouble. I am bad. Because at the heart of it, it always comes down to what happened. And our body really does keep the score of that. What I see overall, Archie, and this delves into parts work, which we're going to talk about in a second, is that oftentimes it's our caregivers who a lot of these stories come from, and it doesn't mean that you have to think your mom or your dad or whoever raised you is bad, because there's still dialectics. They are human too. We find a lot of this compassion when we do parts work. We realize that in our experiences as children, we could never look at our parents as bad. We can never do this. And do you want to know why? Because there is no world where a parent could be bad because we need them. Whether they are able to give us what they need, we still need them. We are dependent on them as children. We are powerless. And so this flows effortlessly into parts work, which is a huge core component of what we do at Unleash CEO. We delve into all parts that make you you, because you, my friend, have a family system within you. You have parts that are managers, which are basically parentified adults, like people pleasing. I have a very organizational part of me. I have the one that's always maybe the camp counselor, that's everyone making sure everyone's got their things, everyone's ducks are in a row. There are parts of you that really don't want to rock the boat and want to make sure everything is just right. Then there are parts of you who are more like firefighter or saviors. And these I call the red hot reactive ones often, because they come out hot. They're like fear, anger, resentment, hostility, judgment of oftentimes ourselves as entrepreneurs, of that we didn't get it right. What a mess up we are. I'm too afraid that I'm gonna F this up. When we get into those stories connected to what I was talking about in neuroscience, that is a clear path for me to see with my clients that there is a protective part here, either a manager or savior. And we start to understand who's showing up here. And when we see who is here, then we can see underneath the most important, essential piece of all of this. There is an inner wounded child, and you have many most likely, and this is called an exile, but I just see it more as an inner wounded child. And she or he is hiding behind these protective parts of you because these protectors fiercely guard them. And these inner wounded children are frozen in different experiences in time. And so while you might feel the need to constantly go on edge to write that next email, or you may really feel like what a mess up you are that you made that mistake on whatever new program you're working on, or that you didn't say the right thing to that potential client. It's not about this experience right now, because trauma is ongoing. It's always living within your network, in your body. And how I explain it to clients is that you have strings, like little daisy chains, and daisy chains is not like what you think about when you go, maybe when you're sitting in the back grass in soccer or baseball or softball or whatever. It's a war term used to bombs strung together. So I think about that as this wasn't the first experience you had that physical sensation in your body connected to that story. There was a time before that, and a time before that, and a time before that, and a time before that. And actually, there was an original time where you had this experience where this part of fear, this part of shame, this part of jealousy, this part of hostility had to come online to protect you, because you are not born with shame. You are not born. I have a 9-month-old son. He does not know jealousy. There will be a moment in his life where that will come online. The hope is, through this work, and I have seen it countless times before as a therapist and a coach, is that when you start to, instead of ignoring your pain, because this is really what it is, ignoring your emotional pain, these parts of you that you want to get rid of, you hate them, don't want to see them, want to get rid of them often. But when you start to befriend them and say, hey, I see you. I feel you anger. Oh, now I'm really seeing you sadness. Oh, and now I really see who's behind this. And when you get into that inner realm and you see that little girl and you see how sad she is and that she's sitting there alone in the dark in her bedroom and she feels afraid and scared and so sad and helpless. Compassion curiosity comes online, 2 of the C of selves, and I am going to help you, guide you to the 8 C's of self that you need to become a leader who is going to transform and change so many lives in whatever is your passion as an entrepreneur, because this is where true grit comes from, is when you are able to align in who you are. And the cherry on top is that microdosing is a sure pathway to get there. Even if you feel a little bit of reluctance or fear or hesitancy, you're going to be taking such a baby micro amount, most likely 100 milligrams or maybe a tiny bit more depending on your body and what you need, of psilocybin in your body. Because what psilocybin helps you do, it helps nudge neuroplasticity in your brain. So if back with neuroscience, if neuroplasticity is putty, that mushroom is like a little bit of a wedge to get the putty going. It makes it so it's easier for you to form new neural pathways in your brain. So before Unleash CEO, there's going to be, if you think about it, a white hill of snow, and you have these neural pathways saying, oh, I'm not doing the right thing. There must be a right way, or I'm doing it wrong, or I'm afraid to fail. Whatever it is, even in your relationships, forget about your business, just your personal life and how you as a mother or a wife or in any way that you identify and what you're struggling with. Whatever those thoughts are, the critical thoughts that you're having, or she's so much better than me, I'm never going to get to that point. Jealousy comes online. Those are all neural pathways. Think as a sled goes down that hill, there's a groove. And every time you think like that, it goes down and it gets deeper, and it's easier for you to think like that. Now, what microdosing does is it takes that hill and it smooths out those grooves. And so now you have a little bit of a blank slate to start with, and it helps you create new neural pathways. I had a client say it felt like her old highway was becoming all dusty and vines growing over, and now there's a new pathway or a new super highway being built. And really what it comes down to is it's connecting to, I am unstoppable, I am worthy, and I am deserving of everything that's going to come my way. Because really, we are not afraid of our fears, the things that scare us, our darkness. We are afraid of our ultimate light. And what I'm going to show you how to do in this 2-month program over 8 weeks time, meeting over 10 times, is we are going to find your emotional power. And that just means you're becoming a self-led CEO. So if you would like to join this program, please send me a message or click the link below, and there is a paid in full experience of this program or a 2-month broken down timeline of payments that can be made. This is going to change everything you knew about how you see yourself, because you are growing into the person that no longer shies away from your light. No more snuffing this out. This is the time you invoke courage, because courage is not without fear. Courage means, which is the C of self, you have fear, but you do the dang thing anyways. Can't wait to see you inside Unleash CEO. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. And don't forget to like, save, share, do all the things so this video can reach all the masses.